Can we get rid of the purple?
Once we go live.
Okay, is that just to tell you, like,
we're live, so
let's get it.
we'll be going live in just a few minutes. We're just getting everything set up, everybody. Bear with us.
Joseph, you're still muted.
I've been muted that whole time.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. We're live, and I just learned that I was muted. Thank you for letting me know. Wow, we're off to a killer start. Hi, everybody. Joseph Sunderman here, Creative Tech. Yeah, I just gave my whole intro, and I'm going to start over again. Sorry. Thank you for letting me know, Cole, after I gave the whole intro. That was awesome.
You know, I wasn't sure, because we did have that rule. We're not going to mute or unmute ourselves till we go live. And, I wasn't sure, maybe you're talking to someone else, but I'm excited you're here now. So thanks for unmuting yourselves. Yeah.
Well, so bottom line, here's what was supposed to happen. So everybody knows we just had an epic fail for the start of the show. 10 minutes before the show goes live, I was having this all set up before the show started. And I've seen other YouTubers do this. Maybe I don't know. I know I rushed things because I didn't get this out until we were wrapping things up before the show. Then I realized we didn't have the description in the show yet. So I'm like, oh shit. Couldn't change it on a couple of the channels. Anyway, it was just a hot mess. And so I was explaining how we just had an epic fail. And then after I had done explaining all that and welcoming everybody, you were like, hey, you're muted. So awesome. And yeah, I was letting you know because you were asking questions. I could hear you typing the whole time, and you must have muted yourself after I started talking, which just horrible. Awesome. But we're here. We're going to keep momentum going. We have a good show lined up for you guys today. It's our 4th episode of Sessions. I'm your host, Joseph Sunderman. With me, we have Cole Chase. He's also a host of the show. Not good at this yet, so maybe he's the co-host or sub-host.
Yeah, you
I
can
don't
call me
know.
whatever, sidekick. You can call me whatever
Yeah.
you want.
Bottom line is we got a good show. We got plenty of we got a real good focus set up for you guys and 3 good topics towards that focus. That's our model here for sessions. And we're, working on all of this and building this community out in real time. And that's our content. And you are here, and we're hoping you're here and joining in on what we're building. It's exciting stuff. To me, it's exciting because I'm a geek. Cole, you're here, so hopefully you're enjoying yourself. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. This is our 4th one. It's kind of crazy to think of how far, even in 4 weeks, we've been able to actually create some type of structure with our talking. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about today's topics.
Yeah. Basically, we have an agenda here for you. We're going to try to stick to this agenda for time purposes. We don't want to get down any road. This is something we're trying to evolve, and we see it getting better and better over time. Hopefully you'll see it get better over time as well. But first of all, before we get in to all that, I want to let everybody know what sessions is. I talked a little bit about it. It's basically, we have a model with my business to help train and educate people on their technology they use. And I've been started a media company back in 2019. Always wanted to do something like this, just didn't know what to do. And eventually the creative tech kind of came to me as I was watching some of the other influencers that I like. And I know I like helping people. And we just kicked off this new training program. I'm like, you know what? I think this is a great intersection here to bring this sessions concept as a series here to help other people like-minded, like Cole and myself. And we also have another gentleman, William Story, who's actually at a shoot today, and he has another one next weekend. We're going to talk about maybe changing the time of the show, but consistency is key. Maybe we change the time at some other point. But for now, the way sessions work is we pick one focus, and we're going to have 3 topics geared towards that focus. Cole, do you want to go ahead and let everybody know what our focus is for today?
Yeah, so I think the main thing we're going to talk about today is building your community. We have a couple of different, subtopics built around that, but the main theme for today is building a community, things you can do to actually create that community, and then things you can do to keep the community engaged and actually contribute. So we're not looking for just viewers that are just going to watch every week. That's great. But I think the biggest thing that we want is people tuning in, getting involved, because this is bigger than us. I mean, this is just us talking about things, but the whole goal here is to get other like-minded individuals involved. And really, the more you network with other people with like-minded interests, you're able to create something bigger than yourselves. And I think that's the goal for both of us.
Absolutely. And by making sessions the framework of the content and using it to improve on building the community, because that's we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. We are building a community that can also help out as we get projects and do stuff like that. That's the goal here, is to eventually get people working together on projects that are just amazing. And that's network, like you said, networking brings all that together. So last week, what did we go over last week? What was last week's session?
Last week, we talked about quite a few things. I mean, I think some of our biggest key points looking at last week's topics were just everything we could do to grow. And I think it was last week was too kind of more like a trial session. I think I lost connection for about 10 minutes. I was gone for the first 10 minutes because my camera shut off. So I think, one of the biggest things that we took away from last week was learning. We had a mistake here at the beginning of the show, but hey, that was quite a bit shorter than our first mistake last week when I was gone for 10 minutes and my camera shut off. So
yeah. And basically last week, I think what I'm trying to remember what we
was
had
establishing influencers was our biggest thing.
Oh, that's right. We went over the influencers list. That's what it was. Yep. So when we went over the influencers, we came up with a list, and we'll share that list because that list is actually going to be a part of the community. And we have a worksheet that we're wanting to do, and that's the stuff that we're going to talk about today, and when we get into the topics. So last week, going over the influencers, seeing their different levels of where they were and how they got where they were, the communities that they're building. I want to kind of compare our communities to some of the communities they have, and use that contrast as a way to help us articulate and better define what it is we're doing. So as we move into it, before we get into the focus and really dive into what today's focus is about, why don't you go ahead and give us a little catch up on what it is you've been up to, Cole?
Yeah, so actually I released my first YouTube video on my own personal page last week. It's been a learning experience. I mean, I sat on that video for a while. I spent a lot of time editing it, editing over multiple days, filming over a couple months. And I think the biggest takeaway after posting that video is realizing, there's so many things that you can control and so many things you want to change. But the most important takeaway for me was just putting it out there and putting something out there, because you can always go back and forth and redo things, but you just have to start. And I think I waited a couple months to actually post that video when I should have just posted as soon as I could have. I mean, I could have rushed it out a little bit sooner. Maybe the editing wouldn't have been as engaging or this, that, or the other. But I guess now what I've realized is content and quality and, consistency is huge. So that's my biggest takeaway is, just put something out there, put yourself out there, like doing this show. I mean, this is our fourth one. I think my confidence on screen, your confidence, I mean, you've been live streaming every day. It's just putting yourself out there. You took that first step to hit live. But yeah, dropped the first video. It was a little office tour. I'm really excited for that. I got some exciting videos coming up with that, as well as any other tech essentials that I use on a daily basis. So I'm excited to see where that YouTube channel goes and kind of how this creative tech platform and community plays into that. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah. And you're trying to do one video a week, which we talked a little bit about. I don't want to get too deep into it. We need to get into the focus here shortly, but I think it's exciting. And I've basically, for my projects, I know I got a shoot coming up next week for a music video we're doing. We should be able to release the last video that we shot here pretty soon. But I'm kind of a little bit, I was thinking about this morning. Here we are with the last weekend, and I didn't get to do a shoot this quarter. That's why I told myself at the beginning of the year I'm going to do 4 shoots this quarter, and I've been so focused on work and getting the team aligned with the master tech plan and getting this channel and getting this going, so that way the consistency can stay there, because I do believe we've only put maybe 2 hours into this week, tops, and that's probably 2 to 2.5 hours with us both combined. Yeah. I would say it's all the time that we put into this, and we're trying to get this thing going to where it's a weekly regular thing going. So I think this is the most solid thing that I have for consistency going on as far as a side project goes. Yeah. But I do need to get some more photo shoots and stuff going, but that'll come. Yeah. But yeah, so but future plans is I got a video shoot coming up soon, got a release of a video that we did recently I'm excited about, and lots more to come on the business side, but we're not going to get into that because we're running out of time. So let's go ahead and today's focus, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into it. Building our community. The reason why I say sessions is like, killing 2 birds with 1 stone is because essentially, we are improving this community by, using sessions, and by using sessions, we're improving sessions. So getting in the habit of meeting once a week to discuss, just like a status meeting with the team, say, hey, okay, where are we at? What's our focus right now? Let's make this the focus. Let's get this done. And one of my biggest things right now is building our community. We need people that tune in or want to tune into something like this and watch it grow week after week, because we're in our infancy right now. It's going to take off. Even when you're at our 30th video, our 30th week, we're still going to be like, hey, we're still in our infancy. But look at all we've done. Like, look at the very first few videos, especially video 4. right here and look at video 30 and just see the delta of what's happened. We got brand guidelines coming up soon. So we said, we've been talking about future session discussions, branding and design, getting the $10,000 brand package for this to get things kicked off. And then we'll go spend the $300,000 once we get the community to a certain point. Right. And that's how you organically grow a business, and that's what we're going to do for you guys and show you guys. So that's why we're doing that as the focus, building our community in the 3 topics today. Cole, do you want to give them a brief overview of what the 3 topics will be?
Yeah, so just the titles we have called out for our topic. Topic 1, we're going to talk about platform building. There's so many platforms out there. It's like, which platform do I choose? So we're going to kind of touch on why we chose the platforms that we did, which is Facebook. Topic 2, community engagement. I think that's the biggest thing. You can have a platform, you can broadcast yourself to others, but getting people to engage with you is really the most rewarding thing, because you realize you can get insights from your viewers. They can tell you things like, hey, maybe you should try this instead. And maybe we have a reason for why we don't, so it creates a dialogue and it creates engagement between you and the audience. So I'm really excited to see how that goes. And then topic 3 is monetization. I mean, what runs the world? Why do you do what you do 5 days a week? Money. So we're just going to talk about, what are the motivations behind certain things that we choose to do, and how potentially, you can get engaged yourself as a viewer, become part of the community. But yeah, I'm really excited to dive right into those topics with you.
Yeah. And a lot of people hear monetization and they get that cold chill down their spine. Like, ooh, I don't want to talk about, like, that's where it loses its fun. And to me, if there's value in something and you get to a point there is no way we're asking for any kind of money at any time, nor do we want to monetize the channel anytime soon. This is purely here just to get the word out and to build that community. So obviously there's not going to be anything, but if we get to a point to where, hey, we're really adding some serious value here, and anytime you add real value, there's money. People look at it as this ugly thing, but it's fluid. It's not about how much money you have, it's about how much money goes through you. And for real things of value to really push through you, there is money involved. So when we talk about monetization, I want to make it clear that yes, money is what makes the world go around. And once you find something you love doing and you get into it, you'll learn that all I need are the clothes on my back and the fucking thing I love. Let's go do it. And having a little, if you like having a wall full of knickknacks or something like and spending money, and sure, you can get lucrative and find ways to feed that, because it's about how much money goes through you. And if you want those things, you have to have plenty of money going through you in order to have those things. So yeah. Awesome. Thank you for that. And I think that puts us pretty much right back on track. Yeah. Let's go ahead and jump into the very first topic today. Platform build. Why are we choosing Facebook groups, and what other platforms did we consider? I know Discord was one of the ones that we considered. What other platforms did we talk about having our community in?
Oh gosh, there's so many out there. I mean, every single day you hop on YouTube, there's something new out there. Discord at one time, if you think about it, was a new concept. People are like, I'm not going to sign up for Discord. Maybe Skype was their thing before that. So it's just,
wow, Skype, you're going way back. But yeah,
think about it though. I mean, that was, back in the day when I was editing Call of Duty videos, like, how do we communicate with people online?
Skype. Oh, you did it through Skype? Absolutely.
Yeah.
WhatsApp is the thing. WhatsApp's a good one. I know there's a lot of community building on WhatsApp. Slack is great for team building and doing things like that. We're a Microsoft shop. Why are we using Teams for that? For me, I just feel like the most familiar, to really help the average person that wants to become a creative tech, and the most familiar for me anyway, for most, is just having a Facebook group. LinkedIn was another. Do we want to go more business driven? And I just think we'd be missing a lot of great creative techs that are not really in it for business. So yeah. Facebook has a good mix. I feel like it was the most familiar, and it was for us. It was if we don't want to have a Discord channel or this, and a YouTube channel. I mean, we do have other platforms. We have a YouTube channel for a reason, but we're driving people from YouTube to sign up for the group. Obviously, subscribe to the channel. Yes, that's a community as well. But our main focus, where we want people to we're YouTube channel grows great. That's awesome. That's actually part of the plan. We need that to grow. But the YouTube channel, that's where our attention is. Yeah. Time is the most valuable thing that we have. So basically, as we get into building our platform, our Facebook is what we're doing. Like currently we are at 19 people. 2 people have signed up in the last week that I hadn't even caught. I really need to get on. I need to get that together, I suppose.
Yeah. And I think too is like going back to some stuff you said earlier, choosing Facebook. I mean, a lot of people in my generation, I'm 26. There's a lot of us that don't have Facebook, but there's a lot of us that do. And, Discord, can't really think out of the top of my head, think immediate friends, immediate family. Like how many of those people have Discord? I'm not sure, but I can guarantee you I'm friends with them on Facebook. So for me, choosing Facebook and us choosing Facebook with this, we know that most individuals are on Facebook already. LinkedIn, like you said, is a little too business oriented. I mean, whenever I see anything outside of just normal business interactions on LinkedIn, like you see posts about LinkedIn influencers, and it's kind of cringy. Like I totally get that sentiment. And that's why, Facebook, I think is a good middle ground for, there's already quite a few users on the site. We're not asking people to sign up for something new. If you don't have a Facebook, and I would definitely suggest getting one. I mean, Facebook is a great way to connect with people that you've met, maybe when you're younger, in your current career. Facebook is just a great platform for that. So I think that's why we really chose to go with Facebook. It was easy. Most people already have it, and it didn't require you to sign up for anything else. So there wasn't too much of a commitment there.
Looking at some of these other, like from last week's list of the influencers, I'm wondering what kind of communities, like I know the Future, they have this thing that you can sign up for. So are they like a pro group? So for $2,500, I can join a year, or $750 a quarter. But where's the group? Like, I guess they have their own platform. They said screw Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And if we look at some of these others, Mr. Hermosi, let's go see what his acquisition.com.
Another thing too is you got to think is now YouTube has the join feature. You're able to join a specific channel, subscribe to them for $5. Maybe that's where a lot of other creatives are kind of going with creating groups. But I know usually if you're joining a YouTube page, they're offering maybe templates or something. There's some value you're getting out of joining the membership other than, just the community aspect. So, there's other things out there. I mean, maybe Facebook won't be what we always go with, but for now it seemed like the most straightforward, easy, low barrier of entry. You're not signing up for a million things. So yeah, I'm happy with choosing Facebook for now, but who knows a year from now if it makes sense to go with a different platform.
Absolutely. And I want to, that's the point is I want to know as we build it, I think Facebook's a free, great platform. If we get to a point to where we can say, hey, let's build our own platform. I got my web guy. I can have him like say, hey, Hiram, get this thing going. Shout out to Hiram, by the way, if you catch up and watch the episode. But yeah, we can basically do anything we want to do with this community, and we're in its infancy. I'm doing this with my businesses as well, so this is exciting stuff for me, and I just want to see where we take it. And just so everybody knows, this list that we started creating last week, I don't think we were able to show this at that time. I think we created this after the fact. But basically, Cole and myself are in this list as well. What I want to do is we have a form for people to fill out, and I'm probably jumping the gun here, but if we get you guys to fill out this form, that's like the second step. Join the group, step 1. Step 2, fill out the worksheet. It's basically a form, and when you fill it out, we're going to add everybody to this list, and this is going to be a great tool to compare different communities, how, who does their own, who has a Facebook group, who uses what different platforms, and you're going to see somebody's model that, you're going to see your life and your situation, and you're going to see somebody that has a similar, columns set up as you do, and you're going to be like, you know what, I see what this guy's doing, and I can see how, like, maybe even help you strategize for content yourself. Or there's just so many ways of just having this conversation and dialogue and doing that contrast, putting yourself in different areas, finding similar brands that align with you. Yeah, I think that's some really cool, fun stuff that we can get into.
And I would like to plug, if you haven't joined the Facebook group, go ahead and join it now. If you I mean, typically if you're creative and creative tech, you already have some friends that maybe have similar interests. So I would definitely suggest, inviting a couple of Facebook friends as well.
Get the YouTube channel right here that's going across here. Oh, there's the Facebook. That comes to Facebook. You just follow that Facebook. It's right there. Groups / the creative tech. There you go.
There we go. Yeah.
You get in there. Yeah, you do your thing. And you're happy because you've done something. Make your bed in the mornings. That'll make you feel better. You go to bed at night, you're like, oh shit, look at that beautiful made bed. And I tell you what, I do that. I watched this speech from this Navy guy, and I'm sure I could find it if I looked it up, but I'm not going to take the time to do that. But anyway, he basically had this amazing, speech and talked about, as a Marine, making your bed, the significance of it and the meaning of it. And even if you have a bad day, when you come home, that your hard work accomplishment paid off for something. You come home to that perfectly made bed, and there is something subconscious to that. And I don't think there's been only a handful of days maybe that the bed goes without being made, because I've been that anal about all the systems I've been putting into my life. Not, got to have flexibility, with 6 kids, everybody have your socks done in the right drawer with the right, no, we still have a basket that all the socks get thrown into. Like, choose your battles.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think that's great too. And to kind of touch on that point too, is like, I know part of the reason for that statement by the Marine about making your bed in the morning is like, if you're making your bed in the morning, first thing, you're taking care of something, you're creating a structure in your life where maybe, with your job, you don't have the same routine every morning, but making your bed every morning, that's a routine you can implement, whether it doesn't matter what time you get out of bed. If you have those 3 minutes to make your bed, then you're going to be set for the day. So yeah, I 100% agree with that. So yeah, I think we're ready for topic 2, aren't we? Am I jumping?
Yeah, we need to real quick. I need to dive a little bit into the community discussion here. We have 19 members currently, and getting more people, that is the goal here, but there is stages to this, and we're going to go over those when we get into this next discussion. But I do want to go in here and take a quick look at the community and just do a quick shout out. Let's see here. Let me go to groups, because there's got to be a way for us. I want to actually show people the administration here, and I think I need to make you an admin as well. And I need to post in here more, and I'm not going to get anywhere posting things with this. I mean, this looks very douchey.
Hey, you're trying though. I mean, it's just putting content out there that you think others will align with. Like, you're posting a story, you're getting engagement. I mean, I've been trying to comment on your stuff too, because it's like, if you get one person to comment, that second person is more likely to comment as well and provide their input. So it's all about just coming together, talking about common items, and the biggest thing here is just, there's a lot of takeaways we can get from each other here. So I'm really excited to see, who's joined, what they do, what we can do to provide value to them, and what value they can do to provide value to us. So
absolutely. Let's see here. I thought there was a way to growth. Yeah, so obviously You can take a look here. We'll look over the last 60 days, even though I don't think, it was created in the beginning of March. Essentially, we started doing the show the second the group went live, to for the most part. And we are, when I say infancy, it's not, there's no joke. And I haven't even been to an engagement yet. I haven't been to, like, when we start doing events and asking people, hey, scan this code. It's a very new group, very early in infancy. These people are going to see these shows. They're going to see the growth at the current state. So I want to take a moment just to say, hey, community, I know we're small, and I know it seems very boring at the moment. Give it some time. I don't know what the fuck that was. Anyway. All right. So an engagement, engagement's like crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
It looks cool, but I mean, not to me. It's not about the numbers. It's about seeing that curve, right? So that's what we're looking for, everybody. That's what we're looking for. So Cole, go ahead and get us into the next topic.
So community engagement. So why did we even start this group? That's kind of the first question. We started a group. Okay, why did we do it? So I know for me and for Joseph here, we might have maybe slightly different motivations, but we both are looking at this group as a way to bring like-minded individuals together. We both enjoy doing this show. I mean, it would be great to have guests on the show. And before you can really get people involved, you want to show them what you can do. If you get to 50 members, 100 members, it's a lot easier to approach somebody to come on your show or spend their afternoon to tune in at 1 o'clock on a Saturday saying, hey, you're going to have 100 people watching. They want to hear what you have to say. So for us, creating this group is we're creating a group of like-minded individuals that all have some type of value to add. Everybody has some inherent value, right? Whether it's, we all may not have the same values when it comes to creative technologies, whether it's software, videography, all that kind of stuff. But each person does have their own value. So having that group and having all these people together, we're able to bounce ideas off of each other, get some feedback on the shows. So for us, we just really wanted a community of like-minded individuals that can help each other out. So yeah, I'm excited to see what we can do to actually get that engagement higher, like getting people to comment on every post. But you don't want to say, hey, you don't want to send it to people and be like, hey, comment on this so others comment on that. No. So our goal is to create enough value in the conversations that people want to contribute to it. So I'm really excited to see, how that group transforms, how it grows over the years. And like you said, we're in the infancy of this. So things are still trying to get figured out, but that's the beauty of it too, is if you join now, you have such a huge impact with how this story kind of goes. So now if you're on the fence about joining, now is the time to do it. Like, you're able to play such a pivotal part in the development of it. We're still trying to figure things out. So I'm really excited just to see, who's able to join the group, what value they add, and, how we can all come together to create, the life we want to live and the goals.
That'll come.
Yeah.
Yeah. And basically, the group engagement for me, the big picture. Okay. The big picture. I talk about this all the time. Like, if we had these advanced creative techs, people that basically work well together because they understand structure, they understand their strengths, they understand their role, and we can get people together and knock shit out, or they're just really good at their craft and they know how to design things really well, or they're really good at problem solving and using technology to get things done at a level that's what I would call operational efficiency. Or operational excellence is the term. But bottom line, as we look at the entire community, we're going to have people that want to get well. And we talked about this before. Like, if you are figuring everything out on your own, doing your own videos and just, figuring it out step by step, you'll get there eventually. You'll get it done. But if you're around people that live in it and do it every day and they knock it out with breeze because they've done it 1,000 times, you're going to catch things and get much quicker at doing it much quicker. So when we have a group focused on helping other people, like, hey, listen, what are you into? Well, yeah, well, this is our editor, or this is our electrical engineer, or this is our, color specialist, or this is our film expert, and they love, true oils and using the old solvents and whatnot to get the images done on film and print them that way. Like, there's so many different areas. There's, not only that, like other interests, like psychology, things of that nature. There's things that help people frame things better, or diagnose issues, and help people understand, their subconscious and the barriers they have by the way they break things down. Helping people like AI with ChatGPT. Oh my God, a communication that if there is an issue with two people, and if you could use this amazing technology to mediate, that's non-biased and it's just there to be objective. Like, think about how many problems would get solved with this technology. I don't know. I'm going on a tangent here, but
no, that's good though. I mean, because you're speaking to the things that are popping in your mind. You're going off topic, but you're staying on topic. Like, we are talking about community, and we're talking about ways that we can broaden that community, ways that community helps us and how we help them. So I think, you're going on tangents. We've done that a couple of times the past few weeks, but these are all great thought out things. If you were to stop halfway through what you were saying to say, oh, I need to stay on topic. I mean, you kind of lose.
My point to all this is I'm not quite finished yet. Sorry. Bottom line is being able to do all this. People want to understand how to do that better. Yeah. And there's people out there that know they can do it. They need someone to help them. By having the advanced techs and having the people that are beginners, that's number one. That's free. That's what I'm hoping. And then as we get into the advanced people helping each other, this is the engagement I'm hoping, is that like you and I, we already do projects together if we can. If I can't get to a shoot, I know that I can reach out to you. You could be available for a shoot, or vice versa. William, he's part of this. I have multiple Williams, by the way, that I would consider creative techs. I'm going to get them involved with this once we get a little bit further along. I wouldn't bring them into it now because I'm dealing with them in business already. So they're already getting sessions. They're just getting it at a, $1,000 an hour level, not a free level. So bottom line is, engagement to me is about us getting people together to do awesome projects together. Like I said, monetization, which we're going to get into here next, right?
Yeah.
So how are we doing on time, by the way? We are going to need, do we need, we're on time.
I think we're 10 minutes ahead of schedule, it looks like. I mean, I don't know if we budgeted a little more time for the ending to kind of recap things, but I think we're doing great on time. And we're almost through topic 2. We got one more topic, like you said, monetization. But we're kind of establishing that groundwork to, where does that monetization come from? Is it in the group? Is it paid sessions? You're able to offer this in this format free. I mean, you're providing advice to people. If someone tunes into the call, they comment something, you're able to provide feedback immediately. Whereas, in the business world, when you're doing this 5 days a week during the week, you're charging, like you said, $250 or $1,000 an hour. So right now it's just establishing, what you're able to provide. And that's what's so exciting about this is it's the barrier of entry to get into this and actually learn from others is completely open right now. There's no, you got to pay this amount of money to get access. Right now we're offering all this advice for free, and each of us kind of have our own strengths here. Joseph is a business owner. I'm an employee for somebody, but we have a completely different background. We're different ages too. I mean, he has 6 kids. I have no kids. So it's just, going back to the group, in that group, you're going to have people like Joseph that are business owners. You're going to have a lot of people that are employees looking for, what is that next best thing? And I think, anything around tech or creativity can help drive that and help people kind of realize, what are your true passions and how can you monetize that? How can you actually make money from what you love doing? Because I know for a fact, Joseph loves what he does. He eats, sleeps, and breathes the iCore group and all the services they offer to companies, all over. So it's just really cool to see, the different perspective that you have on things and kind of how I'm able to look at things from a completely different perspective, So it's really exciting. But yeah, I think we're ready to get into monetization, isn't that right? Or is there anything you wanted to elaborate on that?
No, I think that was very good. So, you know, basically, we could take a 5 minute break and just kind of bullshit a little bit, but I think we can go directly into uh, the next segment, which is topic 3. Yeah, I'm just trying to think real quick if there's anything else on engagement that I want to talk about, or getting people to engage, right? And just give everybody a quick sneak peek at our lovely agenda here, making sure we hit the talking points. And we can share some of that as well down the road. I want to be as transparent as possible, letting people see what we're doing. People that want to be in the meeting, we have a pre-show meeting, a 1 hour meeting before each show. And then we like to get together pre-show for at least 30 minutes, sometimes, 30 minutes to an hour before the show, to get into the studio and like get links ready, get the today's banner ready, get any we don't have any graphics yet. Like, we're not even putting graphics up. So the structure is important. And I'm going over this, and I guess, and explaining the structure to you guys and the agenda to you, because I'm giving you guys the behind the scenes. I want people to be able to take note of what we're doing as we're doing it. And if you're in one of these groups, I don't think anybody's talking. The only thing anybody said is I accidentally typed into the comments section instead of the damn. We got probably one of my children. It's a kids' weekend here, so I'm going to assume we have one of the kids. I'm not sure exactly who Ruffles 6404 is. If it's not one of my kids and you're actually somebody, well, hello. If you are one of the kids, well, hello. Yeah. Anyway, you got a little sidetracked there because I looked at that.
No, that's why we have the break set up, so that we can, talk about things, kind of break that ice of moving into the next topic without, just going straight. Oh, we got to stay on schedule. So, like you said, I mean, looking at the past few sessions that we've done for the show, the past 3 weeks, we've even been able to actually create that document with topics. Before this week, we didn't have a document. We were kind of, just spitballing. I know Joseph did. Me, myself, I didn't really have too much input. I was just along for the ride. But now, we're getting together before, because we realize, if we're going to do this show, we need to establish what value we're going to provide. Because if you're dedicating, an hour of your time to watch the video, you should be getting some type of value out of it, whether it's entertainment or whether it's a skill or, motivation.
Well, I don't know how entertaining we're going to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I don't think it's entertaining. Maybe eventually. I don't know. I'm still awkward on camera.
I think once we get some graphics going and we get a little bit further, like especially once we get some people filling out the form, right? We actually get to see some raw data. We get to a point to where we feel comfortable showing data. So on the form that we're going to have people fill out, as we get into talking about the monetization and how we are going to monetize, right? Because the focus is building our community. So how are we doing engagement? And I think where we dropped the ball on topic 2 of engagement is really we should have focused on this slide here a little bit more. But we can talk about it as we get into the monetization, because there's a framework here that we need. And if this thing gets to the point where I wanted to get to, where we have people in the chat, we have live chat going with questions on these topics as we're talking about it, and getting your feedback as we're talking, like, oh, that's bullshit. No, that ain't true. Or yeah, that's exactly what I had happen to me. Like, we would love to see that kind of engagement going on with these channels. And we're going to need people involved with that. And people are busy. So as we get more people involved to where it becomes more like a job, and they got to do it, they're still going to love doing it, but they need that water flowing through them, so that way they can live their lifestyle. And that's what we're here to teach too. And I want to make sure that we mention that, living with intent. And this is about lifestyle. We want people to be able to do what they love and make money doing it, and be able to help a family member if they need it in the middle of the day, and not fear that they're going to get points or be fired from their job. Like that shit drives me crazy. So we want people to live a good life, a good balance. And to do that, we need to have a way to build our army, have different levels of water flowing through everything. And I think at the advanced level, that's where we get projects going with each other, like I talked about earlier. So what do you think about the model with the money so far? And this is big picture stuff down the road. We're talking about planning monetization down the road. We're not saying this is shit we're doing today, right?
Yeah, so I know we've talked about quite a bit, like, what is the end goal here? We were looking at the futures website. You got to pay what, $250 or $200 a year to be a part of that group. How do we want our group to look like? What does that look like? And like you touched on, having those advanced people in the group that are able to actually provide insight to others, offer advice. That is where you're going to get the most out of this, because if you're watching the show, that's great. There's a lot of great information we're talking about, but once you actually get into the group, talk to people, we get those advanced users in there. That's the thing too, is like getting those people that are able to offer advice that people are looking for, establishing, what is it that the audience wants to know? What is it that they are searching for in their life? Are we trying to help out people with their purpose? Or are we just trying to give them, a little information on tools they can use to better their life? That's all things we plan on touching on. But for monetization, we talked about, you have your paid sessions with clients, there we can do a similar approach to this. However, right now, we're so early into it. We're trying to get as many people involved as we can so that eventually, if you're an advanced, say you're a filmmaker, you've got 20 feature films, you have value that maybe, 90% of the group doesn't have. Not a lot of people have shot feature films. I haven't. So I know for me, I'm willing to, whether it's monetarily support that person to get the information we need, I'm willing to do it.
I think what we're talking about is monetizing the group, right? How do we monetize once we build our community? How does that water flow? How do we have that money flowing for our group? That's the topic. So if that's the topic, and I talked about this a little bit in one of our meetings, where I feel like the order of where we're going to have the most people is we're going to have, the fewest amount of advanced people. We're going to have way more novices, and then in the middle will be beginners. So that'll be the weight, the heaviest being novices, meaning we have more of them than any other group. That's where I think the weight will be.
Mm-hmm.
And where I see the money coming from is the beginners that want to be advanced. The serious ones, I think we have a channel for them, and that's going to take some fluid, because that's the kind of value that would be there. They're going to get tools, they're going to get things to get them to that level. They're going to have a budget for that. And we do everything in budgets here, even with our clients, the way we do things. I hate dealing with nickel diming this and that. We look at the value of what we're doing, and we put a modest value to it, and we knock it out for what we feel the value is. And we either get it done within that value, or if it takes more work, well, then it's still that value. The amount of work, it doesn't matter. It needed done, and that was the value of getting it done. So, and we can talk more about that in a later channel. But for monetization for the group and for our community, what I'm looking at is how can we get our community themselves making money, right? We need money for websites and admins and resources, and be able to give more free tools to those beginners and novices as they become advanced. So, because for me right now, to have advanced, to do it the way I want to do it, because we want to be on teams, and to have E3 licensings for everybody, to do it the way I want it for a business, you're talking $150 a month for a user to keep them secured, give them all the Adobe this and all the tools they need to be a creative tech in our world, maybe even closer to $180 a month per person. So like, we need money coming from somewhere. How does it feed it? Hopefully we get popular enough with building the community, and we get done building this one, we're building another one to start again, to show, phase, project number 2 or something. I got Icora is one of the projects I have to grow. So maybe our community can help me grow my businesses. And then we're bringing people from this into that. All I'm saying is, for me, monetization for this, that's where my brain goes. Where does your brain go when you see monetization for this?
I think I have like, now that you've kind of walked through that, I think my brain was kind of a different area. I was thinking, peer-to-peer monetization, but now that you've kind of elaborated on that, I I kind of like where you're going a little bit more. And that's like we talked about, this session is live. This isn't all thoughts we've discussed beforehand. So that's why I'm happy to have that discussion, because I, quite frankly, had a completely different approach to it that I was thinking. But now that you've explained that makes a lot of sense. Like because you are the business owner, you know what it takes to create, get a Teams license to keep everyone secure. Like that costs a certain amount of money, and you do that every day for the Icora group. The companies you take care of, you're able to give them, what's your budget? Okay, this is how many licenses you can get, this and all that. So hearing you talk about that, kind of giving myself some other ideas, like
yeah,
how.
I mean, there's going to be people that's going to be like, well, Google's free. Just use Google for free. Well, that's not, and that's what I'm trying to say is we better define what the creative tech actually is. It's a brand. It's a lifestyle brand of sorts. How do we get people to see, and how do we define it for ourselves? And this was actually something I was talking to my wife calls this my girlfriend. Where is she? Come here, you. Come on. Don't be shy. There you are. Well, come on. All right. So I wanted to come up with a definition for the creative tech. A collective where diverse minds utilize groundbreaking technology to create, innovate, and inspire across all spectrums of creativity and ingenuity. Example, joining the creative tech was like unlocking a new realm of creativity where my technical skills met an endless horizon of imaginative possibilities. Laying it on thick, GPT. Laying it on thick. Jesus.
How often do you think you are using ChatGPT on a daily basis?
A vibrant ecosystem where innovative minds leverage technology to forge new paths in creativity, personal growth, and collaborative success. They had it closer the first time. So it gets what I'm going for. I'm going to come up with a single definition. When I find the one that hits it right for me to say yes. It took forever for me to get secure IT management. Like once I heard it, I was like, oh, that's Icora right there. Done. That's our slogan. Secure IT management. Icora. Secure IT management. It was perfect. Second I heard it. And we spent months and heard 500 different phrases before that one was said, and it just clicked. So I'll get the one-liner for the creative tech that'll just click. And I'm like, that's the one. And yeah, I'm open to suggestions. If anybody wants to submit, feel free. I'm all ears, but it's not something I really want to. I guess it's something we could vote on. I think once we have a certain level of a community where we have advanced people and people that are like actually like, there's something to this. Then I say, okay, then we start getting like that's why we need that community. We want them to help because I do care about what other people think. I need to feel it. And there are times where I don't feel it and we do it and it's successful, but it is so much better when it clicks and it feels right. Because I know when I feel something feels good, just like this show, it feels good. The structure to it, the concept of it, where everything's going, it's practical, it makes sense, it's logical. So yes. All right. Anyway. Where are we at?
We're almost towards wrapping up, but I mean,
yeah, I want to finish going through the steps here. We talked about step one. We're building the group, right? Once we have this group of all these people, right? This is all free. Everybody's joining. They're giving us their feedback. What we need to do to really understand and be able to put everybody in their groups is we need everybody to fill out. We need each creative tech to fill out their worksheet. This is a creative tech alignment worksheet, and I'll get the link posted. I was hoping to have it in today's show and have it in the description and all that stuff. It'll definitely be in the next show. I'll have it done this week. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to put a link out there. You can scan it with your phone. You can just click on it, whatever you got to do. Fill out this survey of around 20 questions and let us know if we're able to use your data that you provide to us. All we're asking for is your name, your YouTube channel if you have one, or what do you want your YouTube channel to be called if you did get one. Like, fill it out to the best of your abilities. That'll tell us where you are. Let us know where you want to go. That's one of the questions. And once we have your worksheet completed, that worksheet is a living document. It will continue to grow as you grow as a creative tech. As we grow the brand and better understand what the brand is, your data that you share with us, and if you do allow us to use it in these streams, it's going to help others that are afraid to hit the subscribe or to join the group or fill out the worksheet. It still will be helpful. So I hope we get brave people that are okay putting their stuff out there that will join us in this. And I really hope that we get local creatives that see what we're doing, because I know there's a lot of local YouTubers out there making videos. I would love to see that community, join into this community. I don't feel like we should go to like the Cincinnati videographers and post on there or anything like that. But getting the worksheet done, and once we have the worksheet done, we're going to spit that data into our list that we were discussing a little bit earlier. Where did the list go here? Those fields will automatically populate once you fill out your worksheet. It's going to put everybody in this list. And we'll get your image, because I can't have you upload the image in the worksheet if you don't have a business account. So we're going to have to get your image after the fact. Feel free to send an image in a comment or post it on our page or something if you have an image you want us to use. But let's get you into this list, and we'll get the worksheet out there soon so we can get you into the list. Then the next step after that, once we have you in the list, is schedule your free session. It could either be with Cole or myself. You get to choose. And we're going to have a bookings page here set up soon where you just go to a link, and it's going to have all of our available times. Cole and I are going to commit some certain parts of our week to taking on sessions. Hopefully, let me ask you this, Cole. If we had people interested in doing sessions with you and everybody gets one free session, how many hours a week can you open up? And it could be Monday through Sunday, 24/7. Some people, you have a job, whether it be super early in the morning, after hours for work. How many hours do you think you could give to our community, or how many are you willing? You're already giving up 2 to 3 for the show right now and to be part of the community.
Yeah, I mean, I think really it'll depend on kind of where things go, kind of where people see, if they book a session with me, like what do they want to find out? Because there's a lot of things I could talk about for 8 hours. There's some stuff, maybe,
but
I only want to talk about
them, right? The focus when we do a session for somebody, it's always about them. Mm-hmm. So we let them do the talking, and let them do the, ask questions. And what we're doing is we're getting somewhere, and we want to go over their worksheet with them, because when we meet with them, we should already have their worksheet filled out. It's going to help us have the conversation, and they're going to give us their woes. They're going to ask us what we would do in their situation. They're going to want to know. So we need to get the most out of that hour, and they're not going to get everything, but we got to give them the most value. We need to let them know that, hey, have your questions ready. This is your time to ask questions, and we need to be able to make sure we're giving as quick answers as we can, not spend too much time. Like, attention is what they need from us. Mm-hmm. That's the most valuable thing, and I'm willing to give people up to 3 hours a week of free attention right now. And you're talking, it's a mere 12 hours a month, but that's free time I'm giving out. And if that gets filled up, that's fine. Hopefully by the time that gets filled up and there's no more availability and people are like getting antsy, well, guess what? We have more advanced. Hopefully we have a few more creative techs by then that are at the level and enjoying what we're doing and a part of it, and they can start taking calls. So, and then obviously if the person really likes it, it's all about water, how much water goes through you. If there's a lot of water going through you already and you need help and you're reaching out to one of us to help you, and we're like, hey, well, it's going to cost you this much an hour and I'll help you. It's up to you whether you want to, get that value, because we find value in it. And I would say at an advanced level, you're at $250 an hour, and at a standard level, you're going to have people that are going to be anywhere from $100 to $150 an hour. That's just that to me. That's the monetization and free sessions. And this starts again, we're in the infancy. We may not do when we do our first paid session, we're going to ask the person if they're okay with us sharing that. And we might even record it and use it as content, or at least pieces of it as content. Maybe again, that all comes down to consent with our creative text, but we're showing you all how, as we do one thing, these 3 hours that Cole and I are putting into this, we're doing about 40 hours worth of work in those 3 hours. What we can produce from those 3 hours of work I can't explain it easily. It's hard. You have to be able to picture these things.
No, I think those are all great points though, because setting up that first session is kind of that first step. And then, you got to have something to bring to the table of what you want to talk about, what you need advice with. And those are the things we're going to be working on too, is like, what does that form look like for that session? What are the requirements for, if you want a session, what are the things you need to bring to it? So I'm really excited to kind of see how this group grows. I really like the topics we talked about. Should we maybe talk about like next week's topic? I know we've thrown out a few ideas, but because today's session is almost over, maybe we should talk about maybe what we're going to do next weekend too.
Yeah, I mean, as we're wrapping up here, because we're at the end of the show, and we did pretty good. Make sure you go check out the group and join. Just a few questions there. Pay attention and set up. Subscribe. Whatever. We're going to release the worksheet, and when we release the worksheet, I'll do a quick stream and announce it and say, hey, everybody, here it is, and do a quick video on how to get to it, what you're going to fill out, and show you how it shows up in the list. I'm not going to share the list publicly right now, but at some point I do want to give group members access to the list to use for their benefit, and I do see there being value in this if we grow this out, and this could become some form of who knows? And somebody could take this idea and run with it. I don't give. And if you do better than I do, great. This is not about us making money. This is just us about being a couple dudes who want to do good and help others. And we know if we get to teach others, we learn more as we do that. There's so much value being exchanged at every moment. And once you get to see that, when you can see that way, you're now got the superhuman power of being a creative tech. You will be able to light beams, like laser, like Superman, fucking cutting shit down, fucking crazy shit that you're capable of doing. Just watch.
I'm excited though. We're still so early into this, we're still figuring things out, the formatting, everything like that. But that's kind of what it's now the best time to get involved. There's no better time than now. So I'm really excited.
We'll have to get Sora involved so that way she can do all of our videos for us. But
nice.
All right, man. Rough start, but I think this was a great session.
Yep.
I think we had a good show, man.
Yep.
This is a muscle. It takes practice, and we're going to keep chugging along with it. We hope you guys have a great Easter. Cole didn't like my let's wear our Easter ears and our whiskers and the nose.
The whole get up. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm kind of a black t-shirt every day kind of guy, but maybe next time.
Oh, so lame. I'm kidding. I'm not wearing ears. But what's coming up?
We were starting to talk about it, but I don't think we've even established. But maybe we could put that out sometime this week.
What's coming up in the near future? What are we going to be watching? Oh my God! Look at it. It's beautiful. We got the solar eclipse coming up April 8th. Everybody, excited about that. And I want to know what everybody's doing for the eclipse, first of all. And next session, do we want to go ahead and say what it's going to be? The focus Let me do this because I got the close this. Sorry. I'm looking for the show's channel. There we go. And the next show will be on 4/6. Is that correct?
Sounds about right.
So 4/6 now has an agenda in it. And I'm going to open that agenda. Here, I'll share my screen so people can see what we're doing. So we have an agenda for shows. So we're going over the show. We've ended the show essentially. Now we're basically going into, well, this is the wrong agenda document. Let's go back to the folder. Shit. Yeah, that's the right one. That one. There we go. So for next session, boop, boop, boop. No. We're just making it up right off the fly. And it could change a little bit. We'll give it some thoughts, but we talked about, I don't know, not brand guidelines, brand identity. How's that?
It does sound better. I do have to run, but this was a good session.
Yep. We're going to do something around branding because that's our focus. That's what we got to get done. We need some branding elements. We need some shit on the screen. Hey, the focus, and then like fireworks and or something. Anyway, yep. Cole's got to go. I'm going to go. Everybody have a great week. Keep it heavy. Keep it real. Cole, thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Catch you later.
Yep. See everybody. Happy Easter.